Alright, part 2 of the purse tutorial. Well, I'm going to show you guys what I just did, and then I will explain how it has caused me no small amount of headache. So, anyway, I started putting like all the pieces together, and as you can see I've got my buttons and everything all neatly pinned in place so that I've got like nice straight lines, and I decided to go ahead and add a pocket into the lining of the very front and also in the back. And here I am sewing through like several layers of the stretch denim, and when you get to really thick spots like where it's folded over several times, do be careful, because I actually show you this. Just broke the needle on my sewing machine. See, there's no needle there. Just take it out because like it broke. And actually, and this is like kind of interesting, I'm one lucky motherfucker, and I'll tell you why. Because actually, when the needle broke, I heard the sewing machine get stuck and jammed first, and I kind of flinched and I shut my eyes. And right when I flinched and shut my eyes, a piece of the needle, like a little chunk, like flew up and hit me like right here. I mean, how fucking weird is that? So yeah, do be careful doing this. I think the corners where it's like really thick and heavy, I'm just gonna have to take an upholstery needle and probably just hand stitch it to reinforce it and to get it the way I want it. It is what it is. So anyway, lessons learned. I mean, like I said, I'm still a novice at this, but for a novice, I think I'm doing pretty good. I mean, I'm making this purse. I mean, I did hand sew for years, like I said, so I know how to put pieces of fabric together. I know how to make something. It's just my first time ever using a machine. So the machine does go a whole lot faster, so despite my setbacks, I'm going to continue to use the machine. So yeah, that's what's going on and right now. I'm just going to change out the needle, and then I'm going to get right back to what I was doing. And hopefully this project will be finished very soon. I think I only have like 2 needles left in the spare needles thing that I got from when I bought the machine. So I mean, most sewing machines, when you buy them, they come with like a little packet of like spare parts and needles and that kind of stuff that you can change out. So it's pretty nice to have that. So because I'm broke right now, and if I have to go buy more needles, like this project would be like almost at like a total standstill. So anyway, but yeah, and here's the gloves I'm going to use to create the clota on the front. I haven't picked a fabric for the heart just yet, and the crown might actually be like a crown of thorns or some kind of like really wispy, ethereal looking silver. I'm not sure. So yeah, I mean, there's the inside pocket, and there's the inside of the side panel that I have not yet sewn. This line is a marker line, by the way, so I mean, I'm filming! So I don't mind that it's there, because I mean, no one's really ever going to see it except for me, and honestly I don't care. I just wanted to have a purse. I just wanted to use up fabric that's that didn't cost me much of anything. So that's where I'm at right now, and so I'm going to change this needle on this sewing machine, and then I will be working a little bit more, and I'll get back with you guys when it's time to show you guys the next few steps. Yeah, basically more of the same: ironing, pinning, sewing, ironing, pinning, sewing. That's kind of like where I'm at right now. I think I'm going to really be able to show you guys more of something that you really don't already know, probably when it's time to put in the magnetic piece, the other piece, the magnet on the inside of the front flap, and then sew on the design. So anyway, I'm going to get back to what I was doing, and I'm also going to go see what the heck my mom wanted, and then I'll get back to this. So see you guys in a little bit. Well, how about that? It's part of a purse, and I'm excited how this is turning out, even though I'm going to have to end up hand stitching to reinforce some of the corners. I'm still very happy. So I'm getting ready to iron this fold over here. I'm going to fold it over and iron it so it's about like that, and then I will be hemming it to this here. And so yeah, the iron's probably nice and warm by now. So I think I'm gonna get back to what I was doing, but I'm still very happy. I just wanted to show you guys how I'm pinning this exactly. As you can see, I've got the panel you know, it's already been folded. This back panel here has already been ironed and folded and stitched. However, this panel has not, and I'm trying to save some time stitching. So that's where the ironing comes in, especially handy for this stage of the game, because I can fold this other piece, iron it really good, and then it's easier to pin into place. So I'm going to start sewing on the machine here, and then, you know, I'll stop, remove the pin, go a little farther, stop, remove that pin, go a little farther, stop, remove that pin, and then go as far as I can until I think that I might be close to breaking the needle again. I don't want to do that because replacing needles is kind of a pain in the butt just a little bit. So, I mean, it can be done, it just, you know, it's such a pain in the butt and it's so frustrating when all of a sudden you've got a broken needle and you have to stop what you're doing. So, I'm going to do that, but as you guys can see, it is taking on, I mean, like the three-dimensional shape. It's starting to look like a purse. So, I hope this is, everything I'm showing you is rather helpful. I'm going to stitch this, and maybe move on to a couple other things, and I'll be back. I am so excited, because I have pretty much most of a purse sitting in front of me. Wow, and it even sits upright like I want it to. Still got a bit of work to do, but just wanted to show you guys that, like, this is really gonna happen. This is not bad for my first project. And see how here this is a little lopsided, but that's just how it is. And these two pockets here, I thought they were gonna be lower than this flap, but they turned out to be right at the same level actually, which I don't mind. So yeah, but that's the purse. So there it is. There's the one small pocket, there's the bigger pocket, and there's a nice big bit of space down in the bottom. So there's really not that much left to do. I mean, I've got to do the front with the skeleton hands, and obviously I have to hem the front of the purse, the front flap, onto this flap here so that it comes down over. But, and these pockets turned out nice. I can, in fact, fit my phone down inside of them, I think. Let's see. Actually, I'll just give it a try right now. Let's see, here's my phone. Okay, maybe this is a two-handed thing. Just lay it down here. Yeah, this is going to have to be a two-handed process. I have to hold the bag with one hand and insert with the other. So give me just 1 second. Well, actually, no. No, that's not going to work. Alright, hang on. See, my phone does in fact fit. But I do need two hands in order to get it in and out. So what I think I'm going to have to do is let out these darts and then figure out a way to maybe, like, hand sew them or something so that they're a little bit smaller, so they're not quite as dramatic. So yeah, I'm really pleased, and I hope that you guys are getting some useful information out of everything I'm showing you. So alright, I'll be back. So here's what I'm about to do next. Okay, here's the purse, here's some backing stuff, and ooh, piece of stuff. Okay, here's the backing, and here's what's going to be the front flap. Now, I want there to be backing inside the front flap just to give it some structural integrity, and I do plan on putting a design on the front part of the front flap. So what I've done is I've decided which end of this front flap needs to be the top, like the part that's going to be attached here, and which needs to be the bottom. Like the bottom is going to be the part that is down here, that like touches this spot when it folds over. So what I've done is I've taken a piece of backing and I've cut it so that it's actually smaller than the piece of material itself, the flap itself, because I'm going to have to fold this over twice to hem it so it doesn't fray. And the top is going to have to be done first, so that I still have like an open spot to work with down here when it's time to attach the backing and then put a design on the front side. So I'm going to do that first, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do this top hem here. That's all I'm going to do. And then I'm going to start deciding what needs to happen next in order to get the design onto the front and get the magnet, where'd my magnet go? Here it is. And get that placed, because inside here is, inside there is where the washer is. And I don't know if that's really sticking all that well. It's sticking good enough. I mean, I could probably just go to the store and find like a cheap magnet that's slightly more powerful. It's sticking good enough for me. So also having this magnet down there will add weight so that it stays closed. I mean, you can always use curtain weights or something like that for weight if you just want a front flap to be held shut by weight. But sorry guys, I'm very distractible and very easily amused. So anyway, that's what I'm working on right now. And sorry, my hair's wet because I just got out of the shower. But so I'm getting ready to go fold over this little flap here and get it ironed and get it stitched. And then I'm going to start working on the next step, which is to figure out how I'm going to put the design on and do a magnet for the closure. And I'll get back with you guys. So, sorry this is taking so long. I know you guys probably waited a long time for part 2. Some weird stuff's been happening in my life, and I will explain that like in a vlog coming up. So, see you guys in a little bit. Okay. Now, the skeleton gloves I'm going to use for the front decoration. Now, if you're going to use anything like this that has like a sticky, like a fabric paint or print on it, iron it on the wrong side. These gloves were rather wrinkly, and I am going to have to trim down like away so there's less fabric to deal with. And yes, I'm listening to meditation music. Fuck you if you don't like it. Anyway, I am going to have to like trim them down because there's so much excess black fabric and I only have so much space to work with once I do my seams. Obviously I'm going to do the decoration before I hem up the liner and the front. However, I need to be able to attach this first, but there will be a compromise in space. This will actually be smaller. Like, see where the needles are, or the pins? They're about an inch in from the outside edge, and I want to make sure I have enough space. So, I'm going to trim these down a bit to get them where I want them. And I'm going to get started on that, and then I'm going to show you guys the finished result of that. So yes, but do iron them. You want to use a low setting. You want to turn them inside out. So, and don't hold the iron in one place for too long, otherwise you will end up melting the print onto one side to the other. So you don't want that, because heat is how they apply this paint, or this, whatever you want to call it. Heat is how they apply it at the shop, or at the factory. So heat will release it also, probably, and make it stick to the other side. You don't want that. So, that having been said, that's my advice for now. Obviously, you don't have to put the same kind of decoration on your front of your purse as I'm doing, but this is just a suggestion or idea. I don't care if you do, it's your purse. You have the right to do whatever the fuck you want. But anyway, just letting you know, iron, and be careful. So, alright. I'm going to start working on cutting these next, and then when I'm done, I will show and reflect. Okay. Sorry I'm so far away from what it is I'm trying to show you. I really can't help it because I'm actually charging the camera, but I want to get this done. So anyway, I decided that at the top of the front flap, I decided I wanted to put a zipper. So I have that silver zipper I showed you guys in a previous video. Because I want it to show, because I want it to pick up the silver from the hardware, because the hardware by itself will look kind of out of place. Anyway, as you can see, this is the inside of the front panel. And, sorry, I'm going to have to zoom out just a little bit. Sorry. So as you can see, what I did was, I laid the zipper where I wanted it and made a dot at each end on this fabric. And then I took a ruler and connected the dots with a nice heavy line with a permanent marker, cut the line, then basically split it at the ends, And what I've done is I took a front of a t-shirt, an old t-shirt that I really don't wear much anymore. It's got like a tree and a graveyard and stuff on it. Anyway, cut it the size I wanted it, and went ahead and sewed a straight line to attach the piece of t-shirt, just so that when I have to sew the zipper on, I don't have to worry about the t-shirt and other pieces of fabric shifting around quite as much. I'll have cleaner hems that way. And so what I'm getting ready to do is I'm going to attach the zipper. Now, as you can see, what I've already done is I've already attached I've already attached the pocket, pretty much. That's going to be on the inside, the bottom part of it anyway. This is going to be the inside. See, the zipper there, one end there, and this is going to go, this is, when I put it down, it's going to go like this, and the outside, the front flap will be like, will be here. Now, this is going to be tricky because once I have the zipper on, then I have to hem the ends of the pocket to the inside of the lining. So I wish I could get closer with this camera, but I really can't because I'm trying to charge it and I really just want to get this done. So I feel like I've neglected you guys. So the phone out of the way. So anyway, I've ironed these down. And by the way, when you're ironing something that has like a rubbery print or paint decoration on it, you want to take a scrap piece of fabric and iron over it and lay it between the iron and what you're ironing. That way it'll protect the iron from getting, I guess, the goo or the paint on itself, because that stuff, even though it won't hurt the iron really, what it can do is it can ruin your project, it can make a terrible smell, and also then every time you use the iron after that, it'll come off on whatever you're ironing. So yeah, just a little FYI there. So I'm going to proceed on with attaching this zipper, and I'll get back with you guys in a few minutes. Okay, back. So I got the zipper installed, and as you can see, I used pretty much a shit ton of thread to reinforce everything really well. And actually, yes, it does work, but I'm using both hands right now, so I can't really show you. So I have yet to hem down the rest of this t-shirt piece, but I'm going to show you guys the back. Okay, let's lift this up. This is going to have to be ironed. So, but here's, I'm going to sew this backing to here, and then on this, this is going to go on top of it also. So that's going to be my pocket. The pocket's going to go from about here to there, and then to there. You don't want it to be any wider than your zipper, but you don't want it to be too deep either, because once it starts getting too deep, then it's going to add bulk to the purse that I really don't want. So anyway, but here's how I did the back. I went ahead and put little like reinforcement pieces at each end of the zipper, and basically sewed it on and went over the same spot several times. I really just want to make sure that this zipper stays in place. I really want this purse to be almost indestructible. I'm a bit of a perfectionist that way. I take pride in everything I do, with regards to, sewing and art. When I make something, I want it to be to be durable and long-lasting. So there's no point in doing it if you're not going to bother to do it right the first time. So anyway, what has to happen next is I have to construct the pocket and sew the square shape in. And that's what's going to happen next. And then, actually, I think, you know what? I'm going to do these two pieces separately and then attach it to the backing, actually, I think is what I'm going to do. So, because then I'll have fewer pieces flopping around and getting in the way while I'm trying to sew on the design onto the front. So, yeah. And I'm really happy that I found this, and I'm really happy with the way the front of this purse is looking so far. I was so worried that I was never going to figure something out, because, I remember me telling you guys I wanted to do a Clodagh, and it wasn't working. Then I tried something else, and that wasn't working, and so I feel like I've been in circles with it a million times. I'm so pleased that I dug up this t-shirt out of my t-shirt box. Yeah, this t-shirt was getting holes in the armpits and stuff, and I really couldn't wear it much because I did gain some weight recently. So I just kind of felt like it was a little snug on me. But yeah, so I'm glad I saved it. I've been saving all my t-shirts pretty much since, oh gosh, my mid-20s. I started saving all my shirts. So that's what's going on right now. So I'm going to continue on and make the pocket, and after that I'm going to show you guys what I did, and then I'm going to talk about maybe getting the magnet put in, and be going from there. So I'll be back in a few minutes. Alright, back. And guess what? I got the image attached to the purse, as you can see. I basically had a zigzag stitch straddle the edge of the t-shirt material. And I went ahead and just did the sides. I did not do the bottom because the bottom is going to have to be rolled over and hemmed anyway, and I don't feel like having to deal with stitching that many times. I just feel like it's just a waste of energy. So, but I'm happy with the way this turned out. Up here it's a little, I guess, lumpy looking, and that is because when I was sewing I accidentally went a little too far and got up to where the backing is, and it's folded over funny, but that's okay. I mean, I think no project is ever going to be perfect, and I have a feeling that once, like, I'm using the purse regularly, I have a feeling that this lumpy spot will kind of smooth out and kind of go away and look okay on its own, especially once I start putting stuff into the pocket. You won't be able to tell, really. So, that's what's going on now. Next, I'm going to do the pocket. I'm going to... excuse me, I gotta iron this because it's a mess. I gotta iron this again because it's a mess, too. And so then I'm going to basically attach, I'm going to attach this to this, and then both of them together onto here, onto the backing. So then I'll be ready to make my hem and attach this flap to the rest of the purse. So then, I mean, I'm coming down the home stretch here. I'm really excited, so I'll get back with you soon. Okie dokie. I got the underside of this front flap attached and mostly done. I've marked where my magnet's going to go. I made a pocket for the magnet. I hemmed up the sides, and what did I end up doing, because I had removed some of this green fabric from the edge here because I thought it was going to be too bulky, but it turned out it took off too much, and I had to, I ended up just ironing over this edge, just folding it over once and ironing it. But as you can see, it had to go over this hem multiple times with the zigzag stitch, just to make sure everything was going to lay down flat. Because you can see here, where here's the hem, where you can see here where it kind of started fraying on me while I was working with it. In fact, I think I need to go over that again, because see how it's, yeah, I need to go over that again. But, so yeah, I got it attached. So you can see at the top what the hem looks like, and I went ahead and hand stitched and reinforced these corners. They're not as clean and pretty as I would like for them to be, but that's okay. You know, it's not the end of the world. This is pretty fucking good for my first ever attempt at making a purse. So, yeah. So next, I'm just going to put the magnet in, and I'm going to sew off where the magnet's going to go inside the pocket. I'm going to cut off this extra bit, and then I'm going to hem up the bottom of this purse. So I'm going to get with you guys again in a few minutes. Alright, got the strap here. So far for the strap, I basically folded the sides in so that the center is, the spot between the two flaps is right down the center. Ironed it really good, and then hemmed it just on each side, on both strap pieces. And now I've got it pinned so it stays in place while I sew it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a single stitch straight down the center, and then what I might do is I might go ahead and just do 2 more rows of stitches so that there will be 3 total in order to construct the strap. And then I haven't really decided yet what I'm going to do about the ends, if I'm going to do like a curling over zigzag stitch, or what I'm going to do. So I figure I don't want to use that much thread really. It's going to take twice as long, so I'll just have to get started on the first preliminary steps of sewing, and then I'll decide after that. See, that's the beauty of sewing, is you can get started and then kind of change your mind at what you're going to do part of the way through. Just like with any art project, really. So I'm going to get going with that, and then I'll show you guys what I'm going to do next. Alright, got the strap done. Got it attached to one side, and I had to fold this over and hem it and then attach it, because my sewing machine has trouble with really thick, fluffy stuff. So, I mean, how you attach your straps, it really depends on what you think your machine is capable of and just how you want to do it. So, I would definitely reinforce, because this strap has to hold all the weight that's going to be inside the purse. And so now I'm doing the adjuster buckle, and I'm going to have to sew that by hand. Because, let me show you. I'm going to have to do it by hand, because obviously I can't put this buckle right against my machine like that. So therein lies a problem. So I'm just going to do it by hand, and hope for the best. So anyway, but you want to use like a really nice, long, really pointy, really good sharp needle, And I'm just going to use real basic thread. That's really just, I think it just came like in a quick sewing, like a repair kit or something. So, but if you use enough of it and you go over enough times, and if you're going to have to sew by hand anyway, you may as well just go ahead and do whatever's necessary to get the job done. So, alright, I'll be back soon. Well, I give you the finished product. There are pockets in there, I just can't get to them right now because I've only got one hand available. And the magnet snaps right shut. Like I don't even have to try to put it in place, it just automatically pulls the closure forward. But yeah, there's my purse. And I hope you are just as lucky as I am as far as getting it done so that it's nice. I still feel like I kind of want to let that gusset out a little bit, and I still have to make the special little special compartment that's going to go down the bottom of the purse to sneak airplane bottles into concerts and such. But I think it's a job well done. I'm pretty darn happy right now, and so now what I'm getting ready to do is, oh gosh, it's after 12. I'm going to take everything out of my current purse, put everything into this purse, and since today is my birthday, I'm going to sport the new damn purse. So that's what the plan is, and I'm going to stick to it, and I guess this tutorial is really officially pretty much done, with the exception of the little bag that needs to go in the bottom of the purse for airplane bottles, but I can do that some other time and then film it for you guys and get it posted. So, I'll see you guys later.